It's the Texas weather discussion video for Friday, the 6th of October. North Texas weather this weekend trending warmer and drier as usual. And in the southeast United States, the weather for the southeast is all determined by how Tropical Storm Nate behaves. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's take a look at the water vapor satellite view across the CONUS region this morning. Same pattern that we've been having for a few days now. Flat ridging in the east and broad troughing in the west. And down here, it's not that bad this morning. Still pretty mild. Arlington 67, DFW 71. We're mostly in the upper 60s to low 70s, and I think we'll stay that way throughout this weekend. And that I think will stay that way until the cold front next Tuesday comes through. Now, take a look across the watch warning map. We have few flood issues across the Central Plains and across New Mexico, and we have a couple of frost warnings and advisories for parts of North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Now, down here in the deep south, the southeast, are watches and warnings related to impending tropical storm Nate. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but severe weather possibilities today. We have an enhanced risk for severe storms for parts of the Texas, Oklahoma panhandles, also including parts of southwest Kansas, including Dodge City, Great Bend, Garden City, Liberal City, and some of those adjacent areas where some very large hail and tornadoes are possible in that zone. And now this is day 2. This is tomorrow, Saturday. Now this is a marginal risk in relation to Tropical Storm Nate, because this system could bring some isolated tornadoes to that region, which the marginal risk includes the Florida Panhandle, southern Alabama, and the southeast corner of Mississippi. Now, we'll get to some of the specifics here, but here's the rain output for the next 7 days. This is valid through Friday morning of next week. Not really much for North Texas. Nothing describable for North Texas. We did have the idea of rain associated with the cold front coming through next week, but that's just completely out of the forecast, and there's no reason to mention any rain. But most of these amounts are basically rain amounts in association with Tropical Storm Nate. In fact, Nate is the only active system we have right now. That's out in the northern Caribbean. That's basically out in the northern Caribbean. Maximum sustained winds are at 45. Now, the National Hurricane Center actually forecasts this to become a minimal hurricane right before making landfall somewhere in Louisiana, Mississippi, where hurricane watches are in effect. Now, here's the thing. This has a pretty fair chance that this does not become a hurricane, and this just does stay a tropical storm, but we'll get into specifics here in a minute. But let's take a look at the model guidance for Hurricane Nate. It's basically saying, and the models are basically saying the same thing. This will make landfall somewhere between Louisiana and Mississippi, between those coasts, before curving out to the northeast United States. And curving out to the northeast United States, and the GFS ensemble basically says the same thing. And the mean, which is the black line, pretty much says the same thing as all the other models. This will basically make landfall somewhere between Louisiana and Mississippi, and then recurve out to the northeast United States. Now, this is the intensity guidance for Tropical Storm Nate, and now most of these models have this as only a tropical storm. Now, a couple of models bring this out to a minimal hurricane, a minimal Category 1 hurricane. Now, I will tell you that this does have a fair chance of not developing into a hurricane because of the SSTs. The sea surface temperatures right at landfall may be too low for any further development. Because the National Hurricane Center has this developing into a hurricane right before making landfall, but the sea surface temperatures say otherwise. So unless they increasingly become warm, I don't I don't believe that this will become a hurricane right before making landfall. So let's look at the deterministic runs. This is the 06Z run, valid today at 1 o'clock at 500 millibars. Most of the country in a ridge. We have a trough in the west, and down here we still trend drier, of course, on Friday today, with highs in the upper 80s, which is perfect for high school football games. Summit High School's this week is a bye week, but other schools have football games. So let's go to Saturday. This is Saturday at 1 o'clock. You can see tropical storm, which should be Tropical Storm Nate, is approaching the Louisiana Mississippi coast. Now this is Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. Now this run of the GFS has this tropical storm, has this system basically on top of Birmingham, Alabama. But if we go to the NAM at 1 o'clock, this one still has this basically between the Louisiana Mississippi coast. Now, this just basically shows that there's discrepancies about the timing of the timing placement of this thing. And if we go to the GFS ensemble, the European model, this it basically agrees with the high resolution NAM of the idea of this being between Louisiana and Mississippi. So the bottom line is there's still a great deal of uncertainty with this thing. Nothing's perfect right now. Nothing's really perfect right now, but the NAM and the European basically agree on the same thing. So the timing's off. You'll just have to keep a close eye on the official National Hurricane Center models here. Now let's go to Monday of next week. Monday, of course, the low associated with Tropical Storm Nate. It's basically in the southeast near West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, in some of those areas. Now this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday for us. A cold front comes through, which brings temperatures down significantly to the upper 70s. Temperatures significantly down to the upper 70s, not bringing any rain at all. Originally, they had the idea of rain, but the GFS basically gets rid of that idea at all. Same thing on Wednesday, and same thing on Thursday. We remain sunny, of course, highs in the upper 70s. Here's a week from today, Friday the 13th. We have troughing in the very northwest tip of the U.S., and we have ridging for most of us, and down here, as a result, we stay dry, highs in the upper 70s. This is the end of the forecast period on Sunday, Sunday the 15th of October. Troughing still in the northwest, and down here, we expect to stay dry due to ridging taking place. But numbers for the next 10 days, but hey, you can see where the cold front comes through by Tuesday, where temperatures drop way down to the mid to upper 70s, and we could see lows going down to the 50s, which would give us a really nice feel for fall. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'll have more notes in the blog. My next video here will be at around 7 a.m. on Monday morning. If you can't catch your local TV stations on the air at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and Godspeed.